Hello and welcome back to Alchemy Factory and the One Plot Challenge here on One Last Turn. Last time we almost finished making the Venus build. Well, we started making it and we almost finished making it, so very nice indeed. And today we're gonna finish that off and then we'll see where that takes us basically. But we do need to kickstart our world tree a little bit here. I think I walked around a little bit in the factory, and I think most of our buffers for Panacea potions have sort of started to be full. So I think we are pretty good, but the tree there couldn't really keep up. We do also need to get another tree. One is not enough for that full 40 per minute Panacea potions that we're currently trying to get to. So that will be a thing we do, but it is 50 gold, so we definitely need to finish up our Venus production before we can do that. But we are well on our way. I think I'm just gonna start by moving this thing here, the whatchamacallit, the sulfur. We can put it here somewhere, not entirely sure. Probably we need some some catapults, so we need a what's it called, a portal, and then we need some catapults, and then there needs to be a little bit of spacing too. Let's just put it here. Some arrows, we don't want that. Let's just put it here to begin with, and we'll see. What is this for? This is for the this is just for extra. I don't need that. This down here is for fuel. Which we will take here. And yeah, I think that is almost good. We just need to get the brine. And what is in here? The stuff that we don't really care about. Let's see, we do want to get this pyrite ore in there just because I don't care to lug it around. Sulfur here is not necessary. We'll also get the money. That's a little ugly, but it'll do. I think that'll be fine. Okay, so what are we missing? Well, we are missing some Panacea potions, but they will arrive in due time once once they start building up again and filling up the rest of the buffers and stuff. And then we need the last potion, which is the blast potion. And if we just work our way backwards there, we need an advanced blender, I think. Yep, blast potion. We need some brandy, and we need some black powder, and we need some oblivion essence. Well, black powder is a solved issue. We already know how to do that, so let's... I was gonna say let's grab that, but maybe we just make it from scratch because I do want to stack those nurseries. Let's see here. There we go. 3 nurseries, and then we do need one of these cauldron setups. Like so. And we can just not cut. God damn it. I did not mean to do that. Sure, we'll take that. BR. This. This must be the way it was before. I think there was a little road there. We'll see if it starts up. Oh, we are also missing something there, it seems. Sage. We are missing a sage. We have a little money on us, so let's just get a portal down here. And a little box. Actually, we'll put the, like so. Put money in, we'll get some sage. There we go. And this is gonna be sage, of course. And we do have some growth potions, so we can just throw those in there, just primarily to make sure that it works. Something isn't quite right. Nothing is getting pulled out here. There was something missing there. And this should eventually start producing some clay. Oh, and of course, 120, 40. We do need some. Do need some grinders for the chamomile. Oh, I guess we just need one. For 40, and is our clay arriving? Not yet. It just needs to overflow on the first red current in order to get to the second. There we go. Piece of clay. Come on, piece of clay. Comes out there. 30 to 120. So this should be some growth potions in just a second. Come on. There we go. Cool, cool, cool. Every potion but the blast potion. And of course I copied something else in the meantime, but let's just, this is basically what we need. This time we're not gonna cut, we're just gonna take it, and this is okay. This is okay. We don't need that many cauldrons anyway, so let's just build it, and we'll only get 2 cauldrons. That's fine. We need lavender and chamomile. I think it's twice. No, not chamomile, twice. Is it chamomile powder, maybe? Chamomile powder. Yeah, there we go. How much do we need? We need 20, so that's just a little more than 1, which is what we have here. So let's just take these down a notch. That ought to do it. And of course we do want fuel. So we can get that from there at a later point when we're ready to set this up. Do want to get this guy here so we can get to our nurseries. And we'll just skip that one for now as well. There's no reason to go under here either. Now I wonder, what is this all about? Oh, this is the one that goes. This goes. Oh no! God damn it! It goes here, and we also need to get this one. There we go. That goes there. We should probably just move all of this back so it fits. We don't need to move this out here. We cut it, we take it back a few notches, like so. There we go. Cool, cool, cool. That will give us our black powder. How are we doing with profits these days? Very nice indeed. Really doing some work for us here, the Marses. Wonderful. And those upgrades that we did, really keeping our expenses down. We can get our advanced blender to go here. Okay, so that's the first part. That's the black powder. Then actually we do need to bring one out here for a lavender. Also, we can probably... Oh. One thing we do need to make sure is that we have a grinder here for the chamomile. The second piece of chamomile here that needs a grinder. But that should be fine. Anyways, this is gonna be our lavender, which we are going to throw into a paradox crucible. Just trying to decide sort of placement. Probably here. And then we have another one there. We need 2 paradox crucibles, right? So it would be nice if we could do this, just chain them. Then we have to bring it 4th one, which is fine. Put it here. gonna be enough lavender, but I'm not sure it's gonna be enough, actually, of... No, we need 20 Oblivion Essences, so we do need 2 of these guys. So let's place them like so. We'll get some fuel in there somehow. Probably along here. And then we do need this to flow into that, the Oblivion into the... Oh, we don't need that. We don't need that. We just need the Oblivion. Right. In that case, let's just go like this. And of course, we need to build some scaffolding back here in order to get that lavender in like so. So we need 2 lavenders and a chamomile right now. 1 chamomile and 2 lavenders. Not enough money for the lavenders. Let's see, chamomile, we'll just throw that onto the top here, and we're just gonna steal some money. That seems like the easiest solution. We need just a little more. 2 lavenders. We'll throw 1 there, and we'll throw 1 lavender there. That is looking good. And then we need the brandy. And oh, and we did forget, we gotta get this brine. Gotta get that brine over here. Okay. And then brandy is an alembic. So we need 1 more of these guys. Right, yeah, brandy here. Fruit wine we have in 1 of these, not that one. Is it this one? It is. So we can just grab that, and then we need the 120 coke powder. We have the room to just make 1 of those big setups. I can't remember. Also, I just want to go down and check how we're doing with Panacea potion production and that world tree. How is that doing? But I can't remember if we found a way to do coke powder that was better. No, this isn't running again, which is interesting. I guess we have too much buffer to fill, so it can't follow along. But we did lavender for this, which is all good and dandy. And then on 9... yeah, we're just missing those tree leaves, unfortunately. And we do have these monstrosities, so I think that is probably just going to be the way to go. There is a way that involves 4 cauldrons and 7 nurseries. which footprint-wise would be just about the same. It's primarily flax-based. Well, we do need a decent amount of processors to make rope. I think we did this. I do believe we did this somewhere. Maybe for the brine or something. I feel like I've built this before. Maybe it was in another save. Let's go try and see if we can find it. Just because also it could be fun. These seems to be running out of power again on that coke. Only the one side though. Oh well, that's not what I went here for. No, this isn't it. We don't have anything on 11, I don't think. Could have probably made the Venus build on 11 instead of 18. I think I got a little sidetracked, or I don't know, maybe I was just a little focused on the fact that we were doing 17 for this, and then I went to 18. There's really not that much point in that. Yeah, no, this is a different recipe for salt. Maybe it was probably in what I'm thinking about is probably for the bandages, right? That we did. That would make a lot of sense. Yeah. So, linen thread. To 40 linen thread. How much do we need if we were to go for the cauldron build with the coke? We would need 200. Which means we would need this setup here, and instead of an assembler, we would just go with the processor for rope, or a couple maybe. So it would be about this footprint for the rope, and then a similar footprint for no, then we just need one more nursery. We need to we need 6 flax, and then we need 1 red currant, and one of these flaxes we would use directly in the cauldron instead of for the rope. But that should just backfill, so we could just pull it. What I'm thinking it is, instead of sort of redoing this part, I guess we can just undo one of these processors. That's pretty easy. You know what? Let's try. Let's try and do this. Because why not? We don't want to get all of this extra stuff. Is there a way I can avoid it? Probably not. Let's take it in this way instead. And then we'll just add on this little side thing here. Confirm it. Then we can go back up to 18. It's gonna be fun, I think. I think it's gonna be... It's also interesting just to have sort of different setups or different builds for different setups. So it's not the same over and over and over again. I do appreciate that a bit. Okay, let's see. We're missing some steel gears. Okay, good. So wonderful that I didn't see that before, and now we have to go all the way back down. Let's just set this to floor 1, and then we might as well check on the quests, see if there's anything. No, they're starting to use stuff, or they're still using stuff that we don't really have or have access to, so that is what it is. I think steel gears is on 3. No, is it really on 2? Was it that early? It was that early. Interesting. There we go. Steel gears. Do we need anything else? Maybe a little bit of a replenish on steel. Some bronze ingots, maybe, for the cauldrons. There we go. Might as well just take 2 stacks there. I think that is going to be good for now. Okay, back to 18. So, I want to talk a little bit about the future. Because with Venus here, there's only 2 more advanced relics, which are, of course, advanced. I mean, we still have at least a handful or 2 more episodes to go of this series, but I do sort of want to prepare and stuff. So what kind of game do you want to play next? What kind of game or series do you want to see replacing Alchemy Factory here on Sundays? Okay, let's just see. This isn't the full build. We can't have it. We can have it here. Let's have it out a little bit, just because those pipes are in the way. But this isn't the full build, so maybe we turn it. Maybe that is better. Have it somewhere along here, and then have the cauldron set up here. Let's see, we need 4 cauldrons. So let's try and get... Let's try and get that. There's 4 here. How are we doing? Good on earnings, good on expenses, good on profits. Of course, this starts up a little bit, takes a little bit out of the profits, but very good none. And we're out of rope. God damn. It's not easy. It's not easy. I do regret not doing this on the 11th floor for sure. That is annoying, having to go back up and down so many times. But yeah, what kind of game or series do you want to see replacing Alchemy Factories here on Sunday? Do you want to see another Alchemy Factory series? Obviously the One Plot Challenge. Here's the challenge series. There are other challenges in Alchemy Factory that we could consider doing. Just checking to see if there's anything else. I don't think so this time. There are other Alchemy Factory challenges we could consider doing. There's one where you don't have a shop, so you completely rely on quests and on whatchamacallits, dispatch things. We could try that. I'm not entirely sure how it would work. We would have lots of space, and there's a lot of setups that we wouldn't need because they're just used for. I guess that's wrong. We do need all setups, even more so. We need to take it even more slow because we need to make money, at least in the beginning, from the quests, or a lot of money's gonna come from quests. So we need both sort of a scaled back setup because we don't have the income from the shop to sort of possibly sustain things. Yeah, so it could end up being a lot more manual. Then again, we could focus our points a lot on this one, quest rewards. You can get like extra daily quests every 4. I think you could get a lot of daily quests and a lot of rewards, extra rewards. So that is a possibility. Alternatively, there's also, let me just try and see here which way is in and out. This is in. We can put it here. Yeah, let's do that. Back to this. I can't think about multiple things at the same time. Unfortunately, this is a little too much brain work for that, for me at least. I hope you don't mind. So we'll get rid of this guy. Just have him directly spit out his flags onto this belt here. And then I'm just slightly wondering, yeah, okay, so what that belt was for, but that was just that, okay. Cool. And then of course this shouldn't be a thingy for that. It should be an assembler, it should be a processor. We need to make rope. Oh, we need a lot of these. How much rope are we making? We do need 5. We need 1 for each, basically. So maybe we need to extend this, or we do. We need to extend this a tiny bit. Okay, so we gotta take this back. Take it back like so, I think. And then we're just going to probably just move this forward. Twice is probably enough because we just take this directly. Right, it becomes 40 linen, and then we take 40 linen into 20 rope, and we gather all that together. Pretty easy extension there. Let's see. Over here as well, and we'll just get rid of this top one, which is gonna just go directly. Sure, we could save some space here, but at this point, I don't really see there's really no reason, right? Okay, so we do need to transport stuff around here a little bit while also still getting the fertilizer up. So, and we can put that there. Okay, no problem. We will just take it from here. And not to here though. Like that. And then another set. Like that. Ooh, are we gonna go outside of the limit there? Guess we are. Don't think it's gonna be an issue, but I guess we are. She needs some flax seeds, so I'm just gonna test it out. Oh, that's perfect. Perfect amount. I think it's gonna stick through the floor, but I think we're allowed to do it. Oh, it's not gonna... I mean, it's gonna stick through the ceiling, but not through the floor. Okay. So this... This I'm not sure about. Oh, right, yes, so... No, wait. Like that, right? And then it comes out here. Which is fine. Then we're just gonna chuck that into there. We're not gonna need this here. We are gonna need a single nursery for the red currant though. We're just gonna nab the Panacea potion for that here. And then of course we need to get the potions up to that final floor up here. And let's just do it from here, I think. That looks good to me. I mean, it doesn't look good, but it is gonna work. I hope. No, I think it's gonna work. Cool. Then we gotta change up this recipe. It's gonna be flax, it's gonna be rope, and it's gonna be red currant. That is gonna give us coke. And we need 4 because we need 100 to make the right amount of brandy. And that obviously needs to become grinded. And how many grinders do we need? Oh, we need 10 grinders for that. Or, of course, 5 enhanced ones. For not really the appropriate amount of space though. So maybe we take this back. To here. Then we have a little more room. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just a little bit of a double back system there. There we go, and then we need to get the top ones too. Like so, and then we just gotta get our pipe of where is it? Is this the fruit wine? Yes, it is. That is there. There we go. That gives it the fruit wine. Of course, we need the fuel as well. Cool, cool, cool. I think I was gonna say we need to change all of these, don't we? And rope. And rope. And rope. So slightly bigger footprint, I think, for the coke, but it is supposed to be a little bit cheaper than just buying coal ore. And we have the space, and it's just fun sometimes to do something new. I think it's gonna work. We're gonna get some Panacea potions and test it out manually, I think. Just want to make sure that sort of all the connections are readied for when we actually can get some Panacea potions up here. I think that about does it. Cool, cool, cool. I haven't seen many going up here though. I don't think there's any that are sort of being added to the buffers here. So that's not a good sign. We gotta do some searching a little bit. Sorry, this is not the end. We gotta get our brandy. Over here, of course. And that should be it with the blast potions, and then we can move our advanced shaper to somewhere along here, I think. It's pretty central. Oh, that was wrong. How are we doing? Okay, still good. Still good. I didn't mean to do this. Well, I did mean to do it, it was wrong. It's not what I wanted. I will move it a little further forward here. There we go. And these guys go there, and this guy goes there, and this guy goes there, and then we have this guy going there, and then a final pipe and that should be everything. Let's see. It's not entirely. I'm ahead of myself again. We do need this setup here for the smelters and the sulfur, which means we do need to get 8 of these. So let's just grab a little bit more money. 2, 3, 4, 5. That should be enough, I think. Yes. And then we get our portals. And our catapults. Yeah, this was definitely like enough space. But we're fine. Pyrite ore. And of course this is gonna cost a little bit of money, but for backlog purposes, but I think we'll be good on that. Okay, so let's go check on our Panacea potions. We'll grab some from some buffer somewhere so we can try out the blast potions and the sulfuric acid, just so we can see that everything sort of gets in here. And then we will sort of just make sure that we can fill up those Panacea potion buffers and get the Venus running for real. Yeah, we are out of leaves. We're doing here. We have some storage left, which is good. Guess we gotta go. We did fill some up here, which is nice. We can just grab some of these, though. Think we just gotta get as much as we can into that world tree. Sort of just any buffers that we have that we don't need. Right, some of these they don't use so much, so they fill up faster. But the world tree uses a ton of Panacea potions. Okay, I'm gonna go to 18. I'm gonna kickstart the process there, and then I'll go back to 10 to the Mars build, fill up any furnaces for the steel there that aren't sort of to a satisfactory level, And then we will put the rest in the world tree and sort of tidy up. Okay, where do we start? Let's start with this part here. I think there's back to the future videos. I think there's also a different challenge in Alchemy Factory. I don't remember it quite on the top of my head, but I do feel like I've seen something else as well. Like the no land, no shop. We got no shop, we just talked about no land. Okay, just let's see if we're missing. Oh, whoops. God damn it. God damn it. Stop. That's annoying. That's annoying. Did not mean to grind them. So let's get rid of that. And how does this work? Like so. Yeah, we'll get rid of that. Like that. And we'll just directly that does mean we wasted a potion, unfortunately. That's gonna be okay. And now we just gotta get all of this flax out of here, which is gonna be easier said than done. Because they're already inside the cauldron, so we have to break them. It's really annoying, I feel, that that is the case. That you can't sort of say, oh, this one item that got into the machine that isn't necessary in there, that we can't just pluck that one out. But alas, that is just how it is. Okay, so let's we might just break all of them. I'll get rid of all of this produce. This as well. Cauldron, we want it to be oriented correctly, like so. And and rope and red current, and then we can duplicate this. There we go. That should... No. No. What's happening? Oh, did I misclick it? Oof. I guess it's good. Yeah, it's a good thing that that the system with the ghost has been added now. Luckily we didn't. I mean, and why would we put in the sage seeds? But earlier you could accidentally fill up at different rates, and then it would just start producing something random. So this is definitely a positive change. We got the brandy going there, which means we got blast potions going there. Cool. And we do have some sulfuric acid in here as well, which is cool. And we are producing a ton of iron that we don't know what to do with, so we're just throwing it out right now. But that is all cool, which means we have our first pass, 0.5% on the Venus, and we're basically just locked on the blast potions. Of course, something is gonna give out first, probably the blast potion, something related to probably these cauldrons or crucibles, until we get the Panacea flowing like it should. Just gonna hook it up, and then we can go down to 10, I said. See which of the furnaces weren't running for the Mars. Soon we won't have to worry that much about Mars. Because the Venus is gonna produce a lot of money, which is a lot of what we're using Mars for. So yeah, getting these last two furnaces isn't that easy, so I think I'm just gonna skip those, but it's gonna be fine. Cool. How about over here? These aren't running either. So I said earlier that we might want to take a look into upgrading our coke supply, but maybe not, because now Panacea is doing great and stuff, but I don't know, maybe maybe not. It really runs through this fast. God damn. It's not even really filling up buffers that well. I don't feel like, at least maybe it's buffers that I'm not really seeing. Because I do mainly manifold style. Oh no, these aren't running great. I do mainly manifold style. Belts, which means that it does buffer like unequally, right? So there's gonna be what's it called? If you split like so, it's gonna be shit. Good thing nothing was on there, but then again, it would have warned me. If you split a belt like this, it's gonna split 50-50. If you split it like this, it's gonna be 33-33. 33, 33, 33, right? It's gonna do as much as at any splitting point. It's gonna do sort of an equal distribution, which also means that if you do this instead, here it's going to be 50, 50, and then here it's going to be 50 of this, which is already 50, so 25, and then 25, and if you have one more, it's going to be 50, 25, 12 and a half, 12 and a half, and so on and so forth. Eventually, once all the buffers are filled, if this one doesn't need 50%, it's going to backfill, and then the remainder is going to go over here. Then this is going to be the new 50-50. But until that buffer is filled, they are going to fill up unevenly. And that is probably what's happening right now, with them buffering in a way that we don't necessarily want. And I tried to sort of alleviate that by turning off the inputs to some of the places, but I guess it wasn't I turned them on too early or something along those lines. Let's see, hopefully this will start producing soon. What is... Don't feel like I've seen many go out. What are we running here? That's only the brandy. I think we can wait a little bit with that. There is some buffer, so we can, like, again, this is split 50-50, so 50% of all the production just goes to these brandy setups, which is fine. It's just gonna buffer this a lot quicker than other things, which we don't necessarily want. We're also running low on blast potions, it seems. We're not running low so much as we're completely out. What's going on there? This is not that, but we are out again here. Oh no. Oh no. Brandy. Yep, brandy is out. We have nothing buffered here. Interestingly enough, though, I think this is supposed to be running on blast potions, right? It is, it's just not connected. Well, that's the issue. Let's grab some, actually we can just grab some leftovers that we have here. But yeah, it's supposed to be running on blast potions, but we just didn't hook that up apparently, which is obviously a mistake. So this should get our blast potions going again, hopefully. Let's just go down to 6, check out the coal supply, how that's doing. We have a lot of Panacea potions here we can snack some of, just to make sure we are running. I mean, let's just do this. Whoops, didn't mean to grab that black powder. This way we just drain the buffer here on these furnaces instead of draining the external buffer for getting to this floor. So I think that is It's probably something we want to do. Let's go with 60. This amount of potions is going to last here for a long time, so that shouldn't be an issue. No, we gotta go to 8, right, for the tree. Are also, not yet, but we do have a lot of cores. So I guess we gotta babysit this for a little bit. We still have a couple more days left. Let's just check out. I mean, I would very much like it if we were able to get a Venus this time. For 2 reasons. 4 more points gives us twice the speed production of everything. So that would be very nice at this point in the game, I think. Just reduce fertilizer nutrition value here and move those over to there if we can get the experience necessary from the Venuses. Otherwise, research, where are we at? Venus is here. And then we have already unlocked down into the next, well, we skipped a lot stuff due to Panacea potions, but topaz and perfume soap are things that we are going to need. Topaz pretty much immediately for mercury, so we might look into that. Additionally, there's also lapis lazuli and obsidian. We definitely need to unlock the advanced Athanor. The other 2, and then there's some kind of liquid there. This one, quicksilver, that we haven't unlocked either yet. Requires some kind of silver powder, it seems. There's also an advanced cauldron for other sorts of recipes. But yeah, that is definitely the next step. That is the mercury. So we gotta get those topazes. Perfume soap, maybe not, but topazes for sure. It's just the sulfuric acid, which is pretty easy, and I think we might even be overproducing with the setup we have. We could check that. And then we need those crude shards that are just coming from random places, but we do need to transport them somehow. I'll have to take a look at that. Let's go back up to 18, see how we're doing with Venus. That's pretty good, 44%. We still have about 20 minutes left of the episode. A little bit more maybe. So we should definitely be able to do one. We can see here obtainable experience 510. It's relatively a lot, but mercury is like 2700. That is going to be interesting. We're doing 600 per minute of sulfuric acid, but only using 400, so we have 200 left over. If we are doing 30 sulfur powder, are we? We're doing 5 sulfur, so we're doing 20 sulfur, so 20 sulfur powder, so we're only doing 400, okay. But we could add on to here. We might as well just make a new setup instead of taking pipes all over the place. Like, as I anticipated, this isn't running right now due to the paradox crucibles, but we are getting some Panacea potions up here, so I think it will just stagger along a little bit. without too much of an issue eventually. We can grab some of these for the world tree. This guy is like sufficiently supplied. Probably these as well. And then let's just cut here for now. We'll set that up again later. So going back and forth on these floors a bit, we can talk a little bit more about the future. So yeah, there's the challenge possibility. I think there's another challenge. I could just check really quickly what kind of achievements are available. So there is the one we're doing now, and then there is the one without selling anything. There's also one where we complete the game within 50 days. That I have no idea. I have no idea how to do that. I mean, we're at 140. Obviously, if we don't have the constraints of having to build vertically but can just expand all over the map, we will save some time. But I think the way to do it would be to have basically every setup with the correct quantities, have those as blueprints, and then just plop them down and wait. I don't think that is going to be very interesting to watch a series based on that. We could look into just doing some blueprints, some periodic videos where we look at some blueprints. That could be a thing. Alternatively, we could, just that's not what I meant to do. Play something else. That is what I sort of was contemplating. I just want to see how much we're doing a full build, right? Yeah, we are doing a full build. So making more is not really feasible. We would have to produce more coke powder in another place. In order to do that, we could maybe, could we fit it in? I'm just gonna grab this really quick. Confirm. Oh, actually, let's see. We do have the things that we need. Okay. Let's see if we can fit it up there. That might be the solution. No, what I'm thinking is we could play another game. I had been thinking about Satisfactory. There was just a new update not so long ago. What was that called? It was like 1.2. I haven't played since release, and I haven't made it all the way through the game. So that could be interesting. I've been wanting to play it again. So if you would like a Satisfactory series, then let me know. That could definitely be a possibility. There's also some other games that I have in my library that could potentially become series, but I think I would much rather just if you have any sort of game that fits within sort of factory, automation, logistics, tycoon, these type of management games where we can crunch the numbers and build cool things, contraptions and stuff like that. Or like, I mean, like, doesn't have to be build cool contraptions. It could be like Worldwide Rush, which we're playing, which is there's still this number crunching, but it's more of a tycoon experience. Yeah, if you have any suggestions, feel free to let me know and I will take them into consideration. Okay, let's see here. We could throw one down here. There's almost room here as well. I think this is probably just easier to change. That ought to do it. And then we can put it... Okay, final day, I think... A lot of expenses this time around. With coal, interesting. Why are we spending that much coal? What is using all of that? I have no idea. Oh, maybe it was the it's probably the brandy for the blast potions that were stopped in spending coal. And this is more correct. I hope not, but that is definitely a possibility. We have this one last day left. We can just... let's see here. I do want to do... How do I want to do this? Oh, this would have been neat if we could have built on top of here. Guess we'll just go out here and we'll jump on the bandwagon right there with the excess. And these do need a little bit to get started, so we'll just throw in some coal for that. This should give us the extra coke powder that we are needing up here for certain. Well, maybe not for certain, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna be enough because we'll be doing what, 65 times 16. 65 times 16 is 1,040 per second. And how much does the p-values, right? So 1040 per second, and our cook powder is like 900 something, and we're making 120-ish per minute, which means about 2 per second, so we're producing about 2000 p-values fuel per second, so that should be enough. Okay, there's also some in here that take a little bit less, but yeah, we should be good with this amount, and it'll just backlog and be good. Now, what's going on here with the copper bearings? Is that also running out of? That is also running out of fuel, but this will alleviate that as well, because I mean the rest is just gonna all the rest coming from downstairs is just gonna flow over to just keep this one running, so that should be fine. That should be our Mars. And we are doing good with the blenders here again. We probably should have used some of these pyrite ores, but we can do that. We have a lot. We can do that when we set up for the next thing. Let's just get some money and unlock this while we're at it. But yeah, for the topazes, we can just use those there. How are we doing? We're doing good on cash again, finally. Want to get that. We want to get the advanced Athenor. We want to get Quicksilver as well. That is going to be it for now. Looking really good on the money though, so that is good. And we haven't even started selling Venuses yet. Also want to see if we have any Venuses. First, let's see if we can't snatch some Panacea potions for that tree there. He is all out, I would assume. Oh, and we're also all out of catalysts. Why? What are we missing? Is it the lavender? It is the lavender because we took out this buffer. I'm wondering, are we not sending stuff this way? I mean, it does look like we are. It's just not really buffering like we would want it to. Okay, I'm gonna take this one off. There's no point in buffering these. Right now, at least, when everything else is suffering. Let's see. We're gonna throw 3. Onto there, and then the rest will go to that. Okay, that is producing fertile catalysts again. It is slightly annoying that we have to babysit this setup all the time. Hopefully it will eventually get to a point where that's not necessary anymore, at least not as necessary. That's the hope, at least, right? There, the leaves are arriving again. Wonderful. Let's check up on 18 here. See if we have a Venus. What did we get? We did get quicksilver here, which uses crude silver powder, which is something we would have unlocked. Not yet. It's probably the advanced Athanor. Did we unlock that? I feel like we did. We did. Oh, we need to unlock here the silver powder. Okay. In order to do quicksilver, that is good to know. It's not quite done yet. Still blast potions. What is missing now? That is the black powder. The lavender. Interestingly enough, this Paradox Crucible wasn't the one that ran out first. I would have thought it would be. But I mean, lavender is expensive in terms of Panacea potions, right? It's only like a minute and a half, a little under a minute and a half. So, even though this runs at like 2,400, our heat value is, I think it's even higher than that, or maybe they don't show. No, they just show the true value when you look at it. So what, that's like 20,000 or 20 times 10, that's 200 seconds, right? Which is obviously more. I think the next build is probably just going to be on 11, just for ease of transportation, and there was really no reason to go up to 18 before. What we're gonna do is we're gonna build that topaz, and I'm just gonna quickly lay out as much as possible. There we go. So it's the blender, sulfuric acid, and crude shards. Just gonna pop them down here in this corner here. The blender is on the floor. We need 300 sulfuric acid, and we need 10 crude shards. I think if we were to go down to 6 maybe, I think that's where we're doing. Oh, this is just malachite. Also have some money here we need to remember. Not this floor. Is it 5? Yeah, there was turquoise. Oh, it was malachite. My bad. It was malachite. So malachite produces these crude shards that we send back. They come out of here. We do 5 per minute. So unless there's a cauldron recipe, we would need to do 2 times this setup. But then again, we're only doing 5 malachite per minute with this setup, which is not necessarily bad. It's just, it's such a huge setup for so little payoff. Monetary wise, it's fine, but like space wise, it's annoying. So we'll probably have to find another way to make malachite, and then probably also crude shards. Crude shards do go through that, or can be made through that sand purification process. And what I wanted to see down here is, do we even need to run that much more? Because we do have 12 diamonds. What do we need it for? Well, we need... Okay, we need 25 perfect diamonds, so we actually need 50 diamonds. Yeah, so we do need to run this some more in some capacity. We'll have to figure out how we do that. Probably with some extra crude shards that we just throw in here. Because right now it's based on these this salt machine, which isn't running. So it's not really gonna get anything from that. And then the crude shards from upstairs. Like we can see, they come in every now and again, but we could definitely feed it some more. I'm assuming as well that the actually, oh yeah, there was one. I was gonna say, I thought it was one more. There's one more. It's right there. We need 100, and it runs for 60 seconds, which means it's not that much per second that is needed. It's like 1 every 6th second, which means it's 10 per minute. Could also just have divided by 10 to go from 10 minutes down to 1 minute. Yeah, it's 10 per minute. So we do need that double setup with malachite, and that would give us the amount of crude shards. That would give us the amount of crude shards that are needed for 10 topaz. So maybe some of the malachite the actual malachite recipe in the Athanor, maybe that isn't the issue. Maybe the issue is just the soap and copper that's used, and we already did look at some alternative recipe, cauldron recipe, for at least for impure copper. There's probably one for regular coppers. I think we actually did both in our Mars build, so we can draw on some of the experience we have there. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know this. Adding different catalysts to advanced Athanor provides various production buffs. That might be something worth looking into for sure as well. If we are to do that Athanor recipe. I haven't worked with the advanced Athanor before, so that is definitely something. Anyways, that is the end of this episode. Let's just see how we're doing money-wise. A little low on the Saturn and the Mars. Hopefully that gets back up again. But how we're doing cost-wise, a little rough. Just, I was gonna say slightly, slightly in the red, but actually quite a lot in the red. That coal especially is something that we might need to take care of, to be honest. But then again, a Venus is 10 gold and 10 gold is 100 silver, I believe. So that should at least help out a little bit. Anyways, we'll have to see. Next time we're going to look into this topaz and sort of getting ready for the Mercury build. And of course we're gonna eat one of those Venuses and get our, maybe a couple, get our points up so we can increase production across everything. that's been all for me. I hope you enjoyed this episode. And of course, like, comment, subscribe. I'm not gonna go too much into it. You know, it helps me out. I appreciate a lot. I appreciate you, and leave some comments down below with games you'd like to see in the future, either replacing Alchemy Factory, or maybe there will be found time for a fourth series. Who knows? If the game is fun enough, then I might be able to do it. Of course, Worldwide Rush is also gonna come to an end at some point, so there's something for the future there as well. Thanks so much for watching. I wish we could have just one last turn, but alas, it's gonna have to wait till next time, where we look at all the jewelry gemstones. Bye.